Thank you so much for stopping by CateCosta.com. I'm glad that you're excited about planning and launching your new business, and I wanted to fill you in a little bit about why you should stick around and explore the website by explaining how I ended up here and how I can help you. I've been working with startups for a number of years in a bunch of different capacities, as an employee, as a consultant, as an investor, and as an owner. If you want to see my boring resume, it's basically spelled out for you right below this video if you're watching at CateCosta.com. Now, I've seen the ins and outs of taking an idea that you're passionate about and turning it into a successful, profit-generating business from just about every angle. But I didn't always know what the heck was going on. I have an undergraduate degree in sociology, not in business, and after I finished up my bachelor's, I was pretty much terrified of the idea of sitting behind a desk and filing papers all day. So I landed myself a job on a cruise ship managing one of the largest revenue departments on the ship, and I started sailing around the Caribbean. Living on a cruise ship was absolutely amazing. I learned a ton running the marketing, operations, finance, HR, and everything else that needed to get done for the shoreside shopping program. And I got to see some gorgeous places. However, I didn't love my job, so I decided to come back to land. Even before my work on the cruise ship, I had dreaded the idea of being tied down in an office and doing mindless work for which I was way too smart, like most of us are. Now, after having run a multi-million-dollar department and traveling the Caribbean, I was even less excited for office politics and photocopiers. Plus, even though I had that amazing experience under my belt, I was still just 1 year out of college, and nobody back on land wanted to give me the same level of responsibility that I'd had on the ship. So after a quick flit through a job at a speakers bureau, I realized that the only place where I would have any level of autonomy or responsibility at my age was at a startup. So I landed a gig as a campaign manager at one. The startup I ended up at was a stereotype of the startup life. There was alcohol in the company fridge, strip club outings with my boss, sitting on exercise balls instead of chairs, and most importantly, a small team that shared every aspect of the company's growth and financial situation with me, even though I was the low man on the totem pole. This was definitely way better than the BS of office politics and incompetent management that I had experienced at the other places I'd worked, but I still wasn't being fully utilized, and I knew I needed to learn more to be able to fully contribute in the startup world and to have the experience and impact that I was looking for out of a career. So I headed back to school to get my MBA. Back in school, I knew I wanted to stay focused on entrepreneurship, so when summer internship time rolled around, I took a major financial hit to be able to work at a venture capital firm and learn about startups from another angle. I already knew what it was like as an employee at a VC-backed startup. Now I would get to see what it was like as the person deciding whether or not to invest and trying to help the companies that we'd already put money into to succeed. Instead of heading off to New York City for an internship in brand management or corporate finance that came with a 3-month salary of between 20 and 30K like most of my classmates did, I headed off to review business plans, do due diligence and market research, meet with entrepreneurs, and help to decide whose companies to invest in. I also worked with the portfolio companies that had already received money from the fund to make sure that they were on track by analyzing their financial health and growth prospects, assisting with operational and marketing improvements, and participating in board meetings and compensation debates. It was an amazing summer, to say the least. Back at school in the fall, I was now absolutely sure that startups and the world of entrepreneurship was where I needed to be. So I got a job running the Entrepreneurship Center at the university where I was finishing up my master's. I provided one-on-one counseling for aspiring entrepreneurs, I held events, gave trainings, brought investors to the school, and I continued to round out my experience in the startup world. After graduation, I was still dead set on avoiding corporate America, even though I now had my MBA. So I found myself at a nonprofit where I worked with the CEOs of small businesses to help them grow their companies. Working with these entrepreneurs was incredibly rewarding, but that office politics BS started to rear its ugly head again, and I finally realized that as much as I loved entrepreneurship, I needed to just bite the bullet and become an entrepreneur myself, or I would never be truly happy with my work, and I would never have the freedom to be truly happy with my life either. That's how my insane journey as a startup nomad began. I finally mustered up the courage, gave my 2 weeks notice, and set off on my own to help entrepreneurs in the way that I knew would be most beneficial, while also giving myself the freedom to explore my other passion, travel. Dozens of countries, entrepreneurs, investors, and other amazing people and experiences later, here I am. Going out on my own was literally the best decision I have ever made for myself, and I want to help any of you who are ready to take the plunge but just don't know what to do next Put the pieces in place so that you can do the same and take back control of your life. Again, thanks so much for visiting CateCosta.com. I really hope that this video has helped you to understand a little bit more about me and that the resources here will help you to build your business so that you can live your life your way. If you have any questions, just drop me a line or make an appointment. I look forward to hearing from you.
Did you find this video helpful or fun? Then share it with a friend who you think would benefit from the dish, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you never miss any of the latest tips, tricks, and tutorials to help your business grow. And you get to see my adventures through the wide world of entrepreneurship and how I use the freedom running my own business gives me. Also, remember to head over to CateCosta.com so you can get in on the conversation about how to build your business to success so you can live your life your way.